and AMC, I've been doing some math, and I think that not only is the short squeeze coming, but there's some wonky stuff going on with AMC that could potentially be another GameStop type situation. The amount of shares that are outstanding versus they're actually on June 18th they're doing the SEC is doing a count of these shares, and the amount of shares that are shorted and that are being traded is far outnumbering. There's 450 million supposedly outstanding shares, but there's like 520 million shares that are being synthetic shares that are out there because it's been being shorted. And I think this is going to cause another giant jump in AMC. So, and the media's out there saying, "Oh, it's over, it's over, it's over." But I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm a numbers guy. The numbers ain't adding up, and so you'll see there's a lot of options for June 18th because that's when the supposedly this recounting of shares is supposed to happen by the SEC. And
So, what do you think? You gonna go long or short?
I'm gonna do a couple of options. Maybe the 18th or the week after, which is what is that, the 25th? And I'm also buying some to hold on to see to hold long. So I'm doing both.
Gotcha. Yeah, make sure y'all listen to this information, man. This
Yes.
information these guys give us is gems on the show. But
All right. I'm still here, so I got some things to chat about. If anybody wants to come in and join, let's see. Oh, I got some people want to jump in. Come on in, Super High.
hey,
Oof, the dog is going crazy. Yo, Soup. So some of your old shows were here. Your voice messages are here, like here.
I'm definitely getting signed up for Neuralink as soon as possible, and I do want to go to Mars whenever they go. So yeah, I'm with Elon. Like, I definitely want to leave Earth as soon as possible. I knew my messages had to be there.
Yeah, I
I
think
knew they were there.
he was just playing the old. He was skipping around a little bit. I think he was trying to get all the English people in for some reason.
He was like, you were like, don't derail the show.
Yeah, actually, that's probably what I would have done too. Trying to bring us into the world of the church
Oh
and
yeah.
and the
Well, I mean,
mark of the beast coins.
can you blame me? Can you blame me?
I can.
Can you
I
really?
can because I don't want to get. I wanted to get
Oh,
to. I didn't get to half the stuff I wanted to talk about, but that's cool.
I literally, if you would have played one of my first message I left after that one was literally bringing up Humble and AMC,
Yeah, we
and I
got.
did
Yo,
it
he
like
played
three
that one.
times.
He played that one.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, at the end,
yeah.
but I left that like as soon as you sent me that text, I left that one, and then that one didn't get played to the very end. I
All right.
was trying to get you back on track.
Let me see what Melvin wants to say here.
The problem with the Bitcoin is useless if you could have heaps of it and you might able to exchange it for cash, right? But the thing is, right, not many businesses are open towards accepting it. So I'm saying to you that for you, you might see Bitcoin as valuable, but then when you want something, what more further can you do? You might able to buy some certain thing, but like 99% of the shit is like closed off. Like businesses don't accept it. Only a small majority of those businesses accepted Bitcoin. Um, you know, and another thing with the Bitcoin, I have to say, is that I'm surprised that I was able to see an ATM machine for Bitcoin land. I was thinking to myself, wow, people have already gone that quick enough to invest their money on these ATM machines.
Yeah, well, the point, Melvin, is that you can't look at how things are right now. You have to look at how things are going to be in the future. And that's the way you get ahead financially is you can't say, well, nobody accepts Bitcoin right now. Well, that's fine, but that's not how it might be in the future. So the goal is to get in before things. It's like saying, well, oh, this Tesla stock's only $11 and they're not selling any cars right now. Then you got to look into the future, which is what you're trying to do to make investments, not look at how things are.
We're doing the Monday and Wednesday show with those two guys.
I don't. They do a Monday and Wednesday show. I listen in and usually leave some messages, and then they just ask. They were talking about some solar stuff, and actually they weren't. I left a message about it, and then they had some notions that were incorrect, and then they let me on the show to kind of talk about it. Well, it's a short-term thing. All right. So here's the thing. If you're listening and you're thinking AMC is going to take off, and you want to take out a piece of paper or a pen or something, you can do the math with me. I'm just going to read it because I've been doing some work here. So, and I got this up on my screen, so I'm going to be posting this on my YouTube channel. This whole show, but there's 450 million shares of AMC stock out there, right? Now, Adam Aaron, who's the CEO of AMC, he came out on an investor call and said 80% of these shares are owned by retail investors. All right. So let's say it's not even 80%. I mean, he can't lie because it's an investor call, but let's just say it's only 70%. All right. Just to be generous here. All right. So if it's 70%, that's 360 million shares. 360 million shares that are owned by, not 360, 315 million shares owned by retail investors. All right. So like people like me and you. All right. So now if you go onto Yahoo Finance, you'll find that it says there that 25% of AMC shares are held by institutions. All right. So 25% of not retail investors, institutional investors. So you're talking 25% of 450 million is 112 million, right? So you take the 112 plus the 315, you're at 427. All right.
Okay.
So 427 gives you another 23 million shares left, right? That are out there in what's called the float. All right. So the float is what's left after everybody else has their shares. But here's where the crazy part comes in. The next thing, there also is what's called restricted shares. So restricted shares of a stock are shares that like the CEOs have, and the whole C-suite, the CFO, all the board of directors, because they get shares in the company. As far as that goes. So they're what's called insiders, right? So they hold a certain amount of shares. So we found out that there's about 28 million shares that are restricted shares, but there's only 23 million left in the float. The left after retail investors, institutional investors. So there's an extra 5 million shares there that are made up. But then on top of that, there's 93 million shares that are being shorted. So we're already over the 450 million total shares, but there's another, we're already over by 5 million. Now there's another 93 million that's shorted. So here's the thing. If the SEC goes in and says, hey, there's some bullshit going on here. You can't have 450 million shares of a company and there's 500 or 600 million shares out there being traded. So what could potentially happen is the people who are shorting, the hedge funds and whoever's shorting it, they might have to, they might get called, those things might get called, and they're going to have to buy real shares. And if that happens, well, the value of those real shares is going to go up considerably. And if nobody sells, the price is going to keep shooting up and shooting up and shooting up because these synthetic shares from these short sellers, they're going to have to buy. I know they'll have to buy fast. So that's why if you look, as what I was saying on the show, June 18th is when that audit is supposed to happen. So there's a lot of people who are buying call options and whatnot for June 18th that the stock is going to. And so what might also happen is some of these short sellers might be trying to get into the stock before the actual short, before that 18th date, which might push the stock up. And also, if you see the news, all of the news, it's like, oh yeah, AMC jumped up for no reason, but it's over, it dipped a little bit, and the short squeeze is over. There's not going to be a short squeeze. So, and even I was saying that, I was like, it's only 20% shorted. I don't understand why there would be a short squeeze. But I did some more research into this since the last time we talked. So
Yeah,
it might be good to buy a
that's
couple.
basically what my buddy Paul said.
Yeah. So yeah, I know you, and that's why I looked into it more because I was like, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, that's what he was telling me this morning.
So I don't know if that makes more
Now the
sense the
question
way I
is,
explained it.
are you gonna buy? You said you told them you were gonna buy and hold like a small percent for long, but probably sell off when it goes high, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna see. The thing is, right now the actually, you know what? I can pull it up, but it's not gonna. It's gonna change as soon as the market opens tomorrow. Um, but I'm gonna probably buy an option or two. Um, for AMC. That's why, but the options have gone through the roof. Like the price has gone through the roof because everyone's trying to buy these options now. And but you can literally just buy. Yeah, I mean, you could literally just buy shares. You know, at this price, because again, if this thing happens, I mean, it could literally be another GameStop. It could go higher than that because if they're stuck trying to buy these shares and they have to, and people hold them, the price can go. Not on top of that, the hedge funds are not only getting it. Not only will they have to buy real shares because their synthetic shares are gone, but their short interest has to be covered. So I think also what's going on is some of these short capital investors. Remember, they're not stupid. Like I said I was stupid with the workhorse thing, and I was like I was betting all on workhorse, and I should have what I should have did is just bet on workhorse and Oshkosh, right? So what these hedge funds are doing is they're covering their shorts by buying call options. So they want the price to go down for their short, but if it doesn't, because they know that they're if the short squeeze happens, they're covering that by buying call options on the opposite going. So they're buying both directions so they can cover their asses.